Hi, I'm Dr. Taryn Forelli, and today we're talking inflammation. If I told you there was an herbal supplement you could take that could help every cell in your body age in a healthy way, you'd be interested, wouldn't you? Of course you would. Well, there is. It's called Zyflamend by New Chapter. Because the health of every major organ system in your body, the cardiovascular, immune, neurological, musculoskeletal, even your metabolism is intimately dependent on a healthy inflammation response. Uncontrolled chronic inflammation rapidly accelerates the aging process and promotes uncontrolled cell growth. Inflammation is caused by a variety of factors, including stress, pollution, cigarette smoke, and obesity. But the number one cause is dietary, specifically high amounts of a type of fat in the diet called arachidonic acid. We find a lot of arachidonic acid in animal products and specifically high amounts in corn-fed beef. Our body transforms arachidonic acid into inflammatory chemicals via the action of enzymes known as COX and LOX. Now, traditional anti-inflammatory drugs like aspirin and ibuprofen only work on the COX enzyme. Therefore, they don't address inflammation in its entirety and are associated with some very serious side effects like stomach bleeding, heart attack, and stroke. New Chapter Zyflamend has been shown to not only modulate COX but also LOX and other mediators of the inflammatory response. And this research has been conducted at some of the world's most prestigious research institutions. New Chapter is dedicated to furthering the research on this one-of-a-kind herbal formula. And given the connection to inflammation in our health, the therapeutic applications are endless, which is why I recommend Zyflamend to everyone. My family, friends, medical colleagues, and patients all know about Zyflamend. I recommend you talk to your doctor about Zyflamend today. For your health, Dr. Taryn Forelli.
In 1999, Paul Schulich and I began to explore natural approaches to promoting a healthy inflammation response. At the time, the pharmaceutical world was focusing on taming the beast of inflammation, of taking aspirin and making it better, stronger, making it more selective, making it a super aspirin. But the glory of traditional and natural healing systems is not to look at inflammation as a disease, but to look at what herbs can help promote a healthy and balanced and appropriate inflammatory response. That was the essence of the formulation of Zyflamend, and in fact it led us to write the book Beyond Aspirin. Zyflamend represents not an alternative to a drug approach. It represents not something better than a drug approach. Zyflamend represents a complete departure from the drug model of aggressively or selectively inhibiting one inflammatory system, but instead to introduce to a person a range of herbal nutrients, of herbal bioactives from different traditional healing systems that promote very naturally and very safely a healthy inflammation response. Beyond Aspirin was our book, and Zyflamend embodies the research and the conclusions that are presented in our research. And it's been a delight to see that since the introduction of Zyflamend, now about 8 years ago, hundreds of thousands of people regularly embrace Zyflamend as a part of their routine to promote a healthy inflammation response.
The formulation of Zyflamend was really taking those key stories, like what happens within an herb for the case of ginger, what happens between herbs, as is the case with turmeric and green tea, and then taking some of the most applauded herbs throughout history, thousands of years, herbs like Chinese gold thread and barberry have been widely regarded for their ability to cool down the inflammatory cascade. Herbs like rosemary and oregano have been widely recognized to have significant antioxidative effects. So combining food herbs like rosemary and ginger and oregano, that what we could do is basically accentuate a lot of their antioxidative effects and their anti-inflammatory effects and provide a very significant synergistic activity within the body as a whole. There are two key points in terms of the selection of the herb. One is to make sure that the herb within itself has an ability to promote a healthy inflammation response. And secondly, to make sure that that herb, when it's combined with another herb, may also have a additive or a synergistic effect. The other point in creating the formula Zyflamend was to make sure that from batch to batch that we would give a consistent level of key active components. And in order to do that, I utilized for the first time in the United States a new method of extraction which did not require any harsh solvents, or for that matter any solvents at all, required supercritical extraction. And it was able to duplicate from batch to batch important key components that were valuable and shown in the research to promote a healthy inflammation response. As the formulator of Zyflamend, I'm very proud to be able to present this to the world today.